Alright, so in this video I am gonna be going through how I want to repaint these Secret of the Ooze figures. I kind of started with repainting the Raphael figure here. I just kind of gave him like a black wash just to make some of the details pop a bit. But funny thing is, I did sell these figures, and the person who bought them saw the bit of black wash done on Raphael, and he thought it looked pretty good, and he wanted me to repaint the rest of the turtles. But now that I have a bit more creative control and a bit more freedom to repaint everything, I'm probably going to add a bit more details to Raphael as well. So I'll be showing you what I'm going to be doing with the turtles here. First, like I said, I'll just be watering down some black acrylic and then giving the turtles a nice coat so they kind of have this dirty look to them. And then I wipe away the paint with just paper towel, and then it leaves the paint in like the crevices and cracks and stuff of the figure. And then it's the same with the shell. I think these figures, they aren't actually that bad. If you're looking for a cheaper alternative, I guess, to some of the NECA stuff, I know the NECA movie figures are very expensive. I can only imagine now what they are on the aftermarket. I have my set of turtles, so I don't really check them out anymore on eBay, but I could only imagine that they're ridiculously priced now. But yeah, these ones, they came with all their accessories and stuff. They had alternate heads and their weapons and everything, and I'm going to be going through and painting those as well. I'm kind of excited to actually repaint, and this will be my first, I guess, commission for painting figures, which that's pretty exciting. I want to do a really good job with this customer. Repainting figures is something I enjoy to do, and I want to put a lot of effort in and have the customer have something they can really enjoy. So not sure what turtle I'm going to start off with, but I'll show you my progress as I'm going through here. Something else I also want to do here, and it's just like a little what am I trying to say, bro? What am I trying to say? What am I, bro? Yeah, fuck me. With these set of turtles, I also want to repaint just their head sculpts a bit more. I want to add kind of that black wash detail onto their heads, and I also think it'd be really cool to just get another tone of red and like whatever their headband color may be. Like I'd have lighter red over top of the dark red, just so it kind of gives it a bit more depth, and it kind of gives it that cloth detail. Something I also do that helps me out with like painting people's faces. Yeah, painting just different figures, head sculpts. What I do is I put this blue tack over the eyes because I don't want the eyes to be touched. I might repaint them later, but for the time being, blue tack, it's something that's actually very helpful when it comes to painting figures. Same with I think I'm gonna put it over Raphael's teeth for the time being, and then repaint the head. But that's something, if you don't want it to get painted on, well, if you want to repaint your own figures, blue tack is the way to go. Oh shit! Alright, so this is kind of where Leo's at so far. I really enjoy painting the shells on these. Uh, there is the shells just pop so much more with paint put onto them. You can see like with the watered down paint in there, it gets all the detail. It just pops out at you and it looks really dope. Once the this paint's all dry, I kind of want to go back as well on some of the figures and just lightly dry brush maybe some different greens or yellows onto the shell, just so it gives it that, well, more turtle vibe to it. Um, it's pretty much for just the black coat that makes a lot of it pop. It makes the figure already look a lot more gritty and like it's been living in poo poo water. And if you're a younger viewer and you want to do this to your figures, maybe get your parents to do it, or I don't know, just test it out. You maybe I don't know, bro. Look at me trying to give advice. Because I remember when the 2012 figures came out, I was around 12 and I wanted to paint them. I saw a bunch of customizers painting their figures, and then mine looked terrible. I thought I ruined the figures. And then a couple years back, or a couple years after that, I repainted them again, and now they're a bit more to my liking. So if it's something that you want to do yourself, just be cautious if you're a bit younger. Alright, so I've done some work off camera here, and this is how the back shells are looking so far. I'm really enjoying how the Leo one turned out. I just put dry brushed like light green over top of like I put the black coat down first, and then I dry brushed brown over top of that. Then I did the green, and like with the texture of the shell, I just think it turned out really dope. I'm probably gonna go over Raphael with another coat of the dry brushing of like lighter brown to try and get the same effect that I did with the Leo shell there. I think that looks super dope. Then there's Donatello. There, I haven't done any paint work on him yet, and you can see just how different the shells are with like a little bit of paint. Then we got the front here. I kind of added a bit of scratch detail on the front of Raph's, like Raph's shell there. It's kind of hard to pick up all details right now. It's not the best lighting, but I put a coat of the black inside like the knee pads there, and then dry brushed lighter brown over top of it as well. Man, this is not really the best. Yeah, and I kind of with like Sharpie added just little details, like they've been kind of worn, like on the knee pads there. Same with the elbow pads. There it is. Yeah, I need to dry brush a bit more on the back of the shell. I really like how that Leo shell turned out. And with their toes there, just dry brush a little bit of green on the toes. And then see ya. And all their belts are different on these ones, and what I've been doing is adding just a little silver for like the buckles. I'm going to be adding that for the rest of the brothers as well. Alright, so I've been doing some work off camera here for all the turtles. I've kind of been getting them all weathered looking there. I think they're turning out pretty dope. I especially like how the shells are turning out on these guys. Just gave it a black wash, and then once that dried up, I just dry brushed lightly on top of the shell so it raised those details a bit more with the paint. And then I did like a green version for Leo. All the turtles have like different colored shell, and then see ya. And Donatello and Raphael have just different shades of brown for the shell. And the heads originally, they had like just the black dots with like the white there. And what I've been doing with the heads is I've been putting the blue tack over the eyes and then giving them a black wash and then wiping away a lot of the paint so they kind of look just a little bit dirtier and like a bit more detail. And then for the actual eyes, I've been just putting a little dot of white so it kind of gives it like that. Come on, baby. There we go. It's kind of got like the glare there and like the eyes, and it looks a bit more real. And then also I've been lightly, please focus for me, brother. There we go. Just with a lighter shade of purple. Just been ever so lightly putting that over top of the bandana, so it kind of looks a bit more like fabric and just gives a bit more detail to the head sculpts there. I don't want to overdo it because I want like the main color of the bandana to still be there. And then here's one of the Raphael head sculpts. Kind of put a bit more black on the brow there. But yeah, I think they're turning out pretty dope so far. I got the weapons. I'm really proud of how the weapons are looking. With a lot of dry brushing, it actually kind of makes it look like wood there. And with the wrapping, I think it looks pretty dope. Bit more wear at the end of the bow staff because he's been knocking suckers out. And then with the sword, like the bladed weapons, just been again black wash, and then once that's dried, I've been dry brushing silver over top of it to kind of give it that sheen and a bit more metal look to it. Again, dry brushing on the wraps and stuff as well. And I'm really enjoying how the nunchucks are looking. The person who commissioned this, he said he wanted the little metal parts at the end of the chain. So what I originally did was dry brush the whole nunchuck first. Then once that dried, I did the black parts on the ends there. And once the black is dried, I again dry brush silver on the ends there. And I think that's a dope looking. I think they're turning out kind of dope, and it's making me want to repaint some of my turtles as well. This was originally my set of turtles, and then I sold them off, and then the person that I sold them off to was wondering if I could repaint them, and it's been a fun project. I really enjoy painting as well, and the weapons have kind of sold me to repaint some of my own turtle figures. I don't really like doing that because I don't want them to lose their value, but on some of them I might repaint them here. Okay, so this is what the team is looking like all finished up here, and I think they turned out looking pretty dope actually. You can see here there's a lot more just kind of like detail on like the shells and everything, especially with Raphael. He's got a bit more like scuffs and dings in his shell, kind of like even took an X-Acto knife and put some scrapes and like chips in his shell, because Raphael's obviously the one that's gonna be in the most battles and stuff like that. Oh man, I hate the fingers on these ones. They don't hold them for shit. But with all the weapons here, come on, mate, bro. Yeah, with all the weapons there, I put like the silver dry brush on the bladed parts and dry brush the wraps as well. I think the katanas turned out looking pretty dope. They look a lot more like metal now. And then did the same with the sewer lid there, like the shield. Same with on the back a bit there. Here's the other Michelangelo chain, which I think these turned out looking super dope. Person who commissioned this wanted the metal parts on like the end of the nunchuck, so I painted those in. I first started with just the black and then dry brush silver over top of it. I think the weapons actually all turned out looking pretty dope. And then yeah, here's the broom, black washed and then dry brushed that as well. And yeah, let's jump back to Raphael here. I painted all of their heads. Originally he asked for the more angrier head sculpts to have the white eyes, and I said, well, I started to like repaint the eyes because, well, he asked for that, but I was like, alright, but just so you know, it's gonna be kind of difficult to get into like those little like cracks for like the eyes. And he's like, oh well, then if it's gonna be that much of difficulty, don't worry about it. And I was like, bruh, I've already started repainting them. So I kind of had to repaint his eyes from scratch here. I don't think they turned out looking too bad. Hopefully he enjoys them, but you can he's kind of got like that crazy look to him anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And back here. I really enjoyed how the shells turned out. I black washed those and then lightly dry brushed just so like those shell details can pop. With Leo and Mikey, you can kind of see it a bit more than with Raphael, but each shell has like a different shade to it, so they're all a bit more unique. You can see that on the belt as well, there's the dry brushing detail. And yeah, all the turtles have like the little silver buckles on their belts that I painted. Yeah, let's bring Leo over here. It's the belt buckle stuff and painted. All the shells I think look pretty dope now. Dry brushed. I like the knee pads and stuff. There's the back of Leo. I think his shell turned out looking super dope. Once I was done painting these, I gave him a matte clear coat. And I'm glad that it didn't really take away from all the painting details that I did. He also asked that the mouths be painted black, and I added the black and just like a little bit of red for the tongue in there as well. And I think it looks a lot better than what it did. You can see a bit more of the dry brushing detail there, and there's a shell on the back. I really enjoy how the shells look on these ones. And then bring in Donatello here. I really enjoy how the bow staff turned out. I think that looks super dope. Again, the shell's a bit more dirty there. And with all of them, I kind of, for the head sculpts, I did the black wash and kind of wiped away at it, so I kind of gave it that bit more dirty look to it. But I also, with the colors of their headbands, it's kind of hard to pick up here. But I ever so lightly dry brushed to like a lighter purple. You can kind of see it a bit more here over top of the headbands, and then the same with the rest of the turtles, like assigned color headband. And with the eyes here, I added that extra dot of white just to kind of make it look like just a bit more alive kind of deal, like the glare off their eyeballs and stuff like that. And I think it turned out looking dope. And again, there's the lighter brown shell for Donnie. I like how his belt turned out. I honestly like how Donnie turned out a lot. I don't know, something about just the shell and belt and the bow staff. I think he looked pretty dope here. And then I also painted up all like the different head sculpts, just like I said, with the black wash, and like just literally wiped away at it, and then it left the amount of like black I'd want onto it. And then yeah, the dry brushing on all the bandanas and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think they turned out looking pretty dope, and I'm really happy with how they turned out, and I really hope the person who commissioned them appreciates how they look as well. So I threw just some different head sculpts onto them, and I had a really good time repainting these figures. It's almost sad to see them go now that they look pretty dope, but I'm also really glad that some of my custom figures are going to be in someone else's collection, so I wanted to make these look really good and put a lot of time and effort into them. And yeah, I don't know, it was really fun. Hopefully if you enjoy them, it might give you some ideas of repainting some of your turtle figures. The way that the weapons look, it's making me want to repaint some of my turtle figures as well. So I think that's going to be all for this video now. Might end the video off with a little bit of pictures, but thanks for watching.